Hi, everybody. Welcome to another live catch up with Mayo on another Saturday, 4:30 Eastern Time, which is the time I'm doing these now. So until further notice, this is when I'll be doing them. I'm glad to see we've already got some comments here. And I am going to start with this one, which I feel badly about. I see 50 Thunderer, who I think he's a new subscriber of mine here. And he says, wish I could be here today, but work will be getting in the way. Unfortunately, have a great live stream, everybody. Very nice of you to check in. I hope it's not every single Saturday. Let me know about that. It's really, really hard to find the right time that could, suit everybody because everybody's got different schedules. But let me know. Let me know about that. Sorry you can't make it. Hopefully next time. Okay, Brad Hill. Hello. Thank you. You're welcome. I guess you mean for the live stream. I know you like the live streams, and I'm glad you're able to be here. Hey, James Farley. Hello there, James. Good to see you. Hello, Gary. Hello. Good to see you. Let's see. Where are we at here? I want to say this name. If I say Romaga, is that right? I'm going to try two different things. Romaga. That's version one. Romoga. How's that one? Romaga. Oh boy. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Which one's right? Romaga, Romoga, or neither? Okay. Hi, Charles. Charles wants to know right off the bat about the Jurassic World Rebirth movie. Is that the new one that's coming? I really have never been a big fan of Jurassic Park, to tell you the truth. I never saw the first one even, believe it. Oh, Romoga. So it's Romoga with an O. Just say yes or no. Romoga. Romoga. The O sound. Yeah, Jurassic Park. I never saw the first one, but I did see. Well, I don't know which one it was. It was one of the later ones, and that's just not my thing. I don't know. Jeff, so good to see you. Jeff Jefferson, finally able to catch the live stream. It's been a long time, and look at this. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Tips are always welcome. Not necessary, not at all. But anybody that wants to, always appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff. I'm glad you could make it either way. George, music for all four seasons. Hey, George. And Arizona Mick. I wish I could say this. Michael. Okay. All right. Well, the thing about me being AI generated is that, as somebody said in one of my comments, I think it was Record Rabbit, Jeff, and the AI video comment said, we know it's you because you've been here for a long time before all this AI stuff. But then again, who knows anymore? Who knows? Okay. Hello, Mad Team 3. What's going on? Thanks to your back and forth with Pop Goes the Beatles channel, I was moved to listen to Brainwashed. What a great album. I do think Brainwashed is a great George album, and I think it's overlooked. I think if there's anything I would criticize, really, it was a little too long. It seems long to me. But, sometimes I even overlook it as much as I like it. Yeah, thoughts on Billy Joel. What is there to say? Terrible. Billy Joel has some kind of brain condition now, brain disease, that it affects your vision, I believe, and your balance and your hearing. And I've read in some comments, though, that this can be taken care of and maybe reversed in some cases. So I'm hoping that happens. I want to talk a little bit, take a moment here, just bear with me a minute, talk about this shirt, okay? Mikey Arugula has been dying for me to wear this shirt. And you know what? This is my first time wearing the Mikey Arugula shirt. And you know what? I love it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. It's a long sleeve shirt. And I like the way it feels. It doesn't feel like cotton. It feels like silk. Really silky. Great feel. I love the shirt. So Mikey, I hope he sees this. I don't know. But yeah, I've said about the long sleeves. Well, the thing is, even though today is May 24th, by the way, May 24th being Bob Dylan's birthday. Today is Bob Dylan's 84th birthday. Can you believe it? Zimmerman is 84 today. Wow. Anyway, glad he made it. But yeah, even though it's May 24th, the weather is freaking cold, man. I I got in the car this morning, it was freezing. It was 53 degrees. Yesterday I got in the car in the morning, it was 49 degrees. What the hell's going on here? You want to see me do a rant video right here for you? I was going to do a rant. Oh yeah. I was going to do a rant video. I was going to call it April showers bring May showers. It's cold, it's rainy, it's been gray, miserable May, terrible May. And April wasn't too much better either. Let's hope June is a lot better. That's what I'm really hoping for. Let's see. I just got through watching Lennon and Bowie at an adventure in Hong Kong. I don't know about all that, I don't think. Hello, Eric. I was just watching Beatles Tone's commentary on the upcoming vinyl release of Let It Roll when you came on here. Yeah, I watched that video too. And Let It Roll is coming out on vinyl, a George Harrison compilation album from 2009. It's an okay compilation. You know, I don't like that they use live tracks on it. I don't like live tracks on a compilation unless they're big hits, like say Wings with Maybe I'm Amazed Live, or Peter Frampton with Show Me the Way, or Baby I Love Your Way, or something that are hits. But anyway, I'm thinking that I may get the vinyl. The vinyl is supposed to come out July the 11th. I did not make a video on this. July 11th. George Harrison's Let It Roll album comes out on vinyl. Now, the thing is, I do want it in my collection only because I collect what you call the official releases. It's going to be an official release, the official albums. I mean, the regular standard catalog albums. This is now a catalog album. So I want to get it, but I hear the price is pretty outrageous. If the price is too outrageous, maybe I'll wait. We'll see. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll get it early. Hello, Lila. You're asking me, would you say Anthony is the most down-to-earth guy in your circle? Down to earth? Maybe. Maybe. He's definitely laid back. Oh, thank you, James Farley. I missed this. Thank you so much for the super chat gift. $3 for the Frankenstein. There's an offer. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And you know what? Because it's Auntie's Frankenstein, people might want it because it's like a piece of history, It's an iconic piece of memorabilia in a way. So there you go. Let's see. Joe, I know you're probably not interested, but I just finished watching the new Lilo and Stitch. Is it Lilo or Lilo and Stitch? It was actually very enjoyable. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it, but no problem weighing in on it. I don't mind. Let's see. James Gracia. Hello. Hello, James. God bless Billy Joel. They said that there's a buildup of spinal fluid in his brain that can be somehow reduced. I hope it can be. I mean, it's awful. Things are happening to people. I mean, you get old. Not everybody has problems with that, like that when they get older. Some people get away with it, but coincidentally, on Mikey Arugula, if you could have one thing from his collection, what would you have? It's an interesting thing. You may not believe this, but after spending a lot of time over there making the videos with Mikey Arugula, I don't want all that stuff, really. And some of the stuff that's kind of like knockoffs are not really patented. They're not real official. Just a lot of junk. No offense, Mikey, but I like the patented stuff. But to tell you the truth, if I could have only one thing, I'd have to look around. I'd like to give you an answer on that. I mean, I've seen stuff. I actually like the Beatles 6, the American Capitol Beatles 6 display that he's got back there advertising it. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But I'm sure there's better stuff if I really thought about it. Yeah, I've been considering Mean Mr. Mayo merch for years and years and years, going before COVID. And I keep saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Now it's reached the point where if I do it, everybody's going to think I'm copying their idea with a T-shirt. No. Everybody has T-shirts. Not copying anybody. T-shirts have been going on forever. It's not somebody's unique idea that they have a patent on. You can't steal it or something. But I keep saying eventually, but it costs money. And I will do it. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to sell it. I don't even care if I give it away. If I did it, I wouldn't be making T-shirts and things like that for profit. I'd be just doing it just to be cool. The idea of people wearing it. Now I know. Sorry about that. I repeated that. Uh, but anyway, I don't know what I was going to say, so we'll move on. Okay, I can just hear Mikey Arugula enthusiastically reciting the lyrics of A Hard Day's Night. I imagine him putting emphasis on working like a dog. Hell, I wonder if he knows all the words, Mikey Arugula. That's what I would wonder. That's what I would wonder, actually. Okay. Simon and Garfunkel's Greatest Hits has a couple of live tracks on it, and in that case, it works. They sound really good. Yeah, that's an early album that I bought in my Simon and Garfunkel collection phase. When I had vinyl of that, that stuff, and I bought that, and I always enjoyed even the live stuff. I enjoyed on there. Yeah. With You Now hitting a wall with 4K, you did actually get rid of standard DVDs to replace them with Blu-ray versions. So why stop now? Well, I've explained that already. It's not, well, you say, or is it the hassle of buying a 4K player? No hassle in buying a 4K player. That's easy. And I may buy a 4K player, not so much because I want to buy 4K movies, but because they actually enhance the quality of my existing Blu-rays and DVDs. And not only that, somebody told me that all Blu-ray players are region free, that they play stuff from England and other regions, not in the US. I don't know if that's true or not. But no, I'm definitely. Why stop now? Of course, I'm going to stop. If anybody wants to know what that's about, I did a video, and I'd ask you to please check it out and please subscribe to my other channel here, which is Mr. Cinemayo. It's my movie and TV channel. It's not just movies and TVs, but shows, but it's also anything like comic books, collectibles, fun stuff. It's away from the Beatles, and it's more into that. But I did a new video. It's my brand new video over there about, are we going to be forced into collecting 4K and replacing our stuff? Is that going to happen one day where we're forced to it? And that's the topic of that. And I really had a good time making that. I've been getting a little more views and success with my movie videos, mostly because I've been keeping them going. At least I've been putting content. Part of the problem was that I just didn't put content on. You got to put content. You can't get any success if you don't put content. So there you go. All right, let's continue here. I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Okay. Did you know when John Lennon made that vacation to Hong Kong, he got the inspiration to name his 1980 double fantasy? It wasn't in Bermuda that he got that idea. It was in Hong Kong. Well, I know he said that I don't know where it was, but I know he got it from like a flower arrangement or something on the table. It said double fantasy, that was something like that. Yeah, I know who you mean, the T-shirt guy, but you have to think about this. Well, the problem with that too is, I want to. He's a little bit far. The T-shirt. What is the name of it? I forgot already. Says, I don't remember it. I'd give him a plug here, but T-shirt USA, is that it? Something like that. Yeah, for Mayo merch, you can have a Danny coffee mug with the caption "Save your money for a rainy day." Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or you could say every day is a rainy day when Mayo spends his money. But I got to get better at it because you can't buy everything. Between movies, collectibles, and Beatles, forget about it. Forget about it. All right, let's see. My eyes aren't good enough for 4K. Well, that's the other thing. My hearing is still top notch. I mean, I have hearing amazing, the things I hear that I could pick up on. But the eyes, and as I say almost every stream when it comes up, is my eyes aren't as good as they were. I didn't need glasses once upon a time. Now I do. And when I first made videos, I didn't need glasses right at the beginning. And I still believe firmly that the glasses really were a lot because I look at the screen all the time. I am on my phone all the time. There was a time, when I didn't want anything to do with these smartphones, Android phones, But if I'm out, I eat breakfast at the diner. I got this thing open. I'm over there eating, and I'm like scrolling. I'm checking my comments. But the only reason I do it so much is because I got to keep up with comments. That's why I do that. When you have a channel like this, if I didn't have a channel, I don't think I'd be on the internet that much. It's mostly to monitor my channel is why I do it. Okay, I just saw Andy Nichols' last Two Legs video. One of the items he unboxed was the Beatles from Liverpool box from 1980. Do you have that version? What do you think of the comp and the sound? I had it once upon a time. My version of it was from, I think, Spain. It was a Spain edition. I don't have it anymore. I sold it, and those are the kind of things that don't need anymore. I mean, in my own opinion, I think all of us at some point we're going to realize we don't need all this stuff. There's stuff that can go, stuff we want to keep. And I've been there before, and Andy's still like, I think 19 years younger than me. So maybe, I don't know if age has anything to do with it, but he hasn't gotten to the point yet where he's like, enough of this already. And I just realized that with me. And you're still going to see me buy stuff. I continue to buy stuff. I'm not going to ever stop, not while I'm alive. But it has been reduced. And some people may not even notice that the stuff I buy has been reduced. Some people might not even pick up on it. But trust me when I tell you it has been. Okay, let's see now. How are you, Dino? Hello, doing good. Hello. Let's see. I'm glad you went back to the channel name Mr. Cinemayo. It's nice and direct, not too complicated. Amen. I had millions of titles, and I thought of Cinemayo a long time ago. Cinemayo is not that hard to think up because, I mean, I'm looking for words like theater, cinema, and then when I see cinema, I say put YO at the end of it. How great is that? I just put the Mr. at the beginning. Instead of it just doing just Cinemayo, I put Mr. Cinemayo. There is an interesting documentary in the UK. Frost, is it versus the Beatles? The Beatles. It's rare snippets of David Frost Beatles interviews. The one about Attic Estate with John is interesting. Yes, there are a lot of very good David Frost interviews with them. Yes. If I could be any character from Planet of the Apes, which one would you choose? Probably Taylor, so I could have Nova. Maybe that. How's that? The only Ringo greatest hits and vinyl that I know of is Blast from Your Past. It's time for an updated Ringo collection. This is true. The album Photograph Best of Ringo is not on vinyl. I think that's the only hits collection of Ringo on vinyl. FYI, there is currently some classic mid-60s era Stones albums like Flowers in Japan, the Flowers album from Japan, for dirt cheap on Amazon. There you go. You need to review more Basil Rathbone films. Now, I don't, because you've got a sense of humor, Mr. Blood Vessel. And incidentally, I do need to talk to you about something when I see you about your sense of humor, but I don't know when I'll see you. Hopefully I'll run into you at the store. But I don't know if you're being serious here or not, but I love Basil Rathbone. Cinemayo is perfect. It's cinema and also a play on Joe's name, Mayo. Absolutely. That's the idea. And it's simple, simple. Did you hear about the forthcoming Runaways LP box set? Supposedly 10 of the sets will have a photograph actually signed by Joan Jett. I believe it's scheduled for November. Now, that's something I'm interested in. A Runaways LP box set. Well, then again, LP. I have all the LPs. I have to look into that. I have all their LPs, the original ones. I always like originals better than reissues whenever I can get them. I have Joan Jett's autograph several times. I met her in person several times. So, but still, that's interesting. The pickup service when I was with FedEx at night ruined my eyes. Yeah, I really believe that. I'm on when I say that I'm on this thing all the time, I mean, it's not literally all the time. Not literally, I'm sleeping, I'm not on it. But when I'm awake, I'm not on it 24 hours. But we sit down, my girlfriend and I sit down to watch TV, say 8 o'clock at night till like 11 to get the 3 hours. And I'm constantly, I'm there, put it down on the arm of the sofa, keep watching, pick it up 5 minutes later, because I keep checking to see what's going on. I have to keep on. I don't want to miss a lot of comments. I like to respond as timely as possible when I have to respond. Hello, Tim. Good afternoon. I know you've already mentioned Bob Dylan's 84th birthday, but I'd like to add that I hope you enjoy your Tennis Swords box set for many years to come. Absolutely. I have not played it yet. Don't everybody jump on me. I bought it primarily as a keepsake because of the memories attached to it. But I will get to it. I will play it. There's some albums I do want to hear more than others, and that's a trip I want to take again. But I've heard those songs before on CD, burned onto CD for a lot of times. About hearing, sometimes you mention when a train goes by, but through your microphone and my headphones, I can just barely hear it like a soft breeze. Well, that's reassuring to know. Hi, Dave. You don't have to replace DVDs or Blu-rays. You can always play them forever with a player. Well, of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, I do have a few players. I actually have 2 or 3, I think 3 Sony Blu-ray players in boxes sealed for the future. And of course, I understand you're saying, I think you mean with a 4K player. If you buy a 4K player, you can continue to play. That's what I used to tell people, that people who are reluctant collectors, who are reluctant to go to Blu-ray discs. I used to say, get a Blu-ray player. First of all, you can still watch your DVDs. You can still watch them on the Blu-ray player, and your DVDs will be boosted up in high definition quality. Well, maybe not high def, but they'll be boosted up in quality. They'll look better than they do on your DVD player. So it's a win-win situation. I might do the same thing with 4K down the line. I don't know. Oop. Let's see. Well, you asking me how Danny is. Well, you have contact with him. Why don't you ask him? Now, I don't mean that to be flippant like that. Danny and I are still friends, and there's no problem. We're not, like I said, every time he comes up, the subject comes up. But I have been curious as to how he's doing, because I haven't talked to him in a while. For a while we were still talking, but I haven't contacted him, and he hasn't contacted me. Hopefully we'll rectify that. I want to know that he's all right. So if money in space was no object, would you have a cinema room? Absolutely. Absolutely. But see, that's another thing. Or would you take away the enjoyment of going to the actual cinema? No, I'd love a cinema room. There's not new movies I want to see. I always wanted to have a big theater in the basement with seats and cup holders and big screen and posters on the wall. But you know what? And here I go again. I'm getting older. And the time to do that was when I was 30, 35, 40. You know what I mean? I'll still, if I hit the lottery tomorrow, if I win, if I become rich, I'll have a house that's big. But at this age, I'll make the best of it. But it's just a matter of, I don't have a lot of friends. I used to have a lot of movie friends. We used to get together every now and then and watch movies together. That would have been nice to have when I was like 35, 40. It's just one of those things, I've kept all my bootleg Beatles albums. It's nostalgia, right? Exactly. Cinemayo was better than a long name like Mr. Mayo's cinematic excursions into classic and not so classic films that are fun to watch. Yeah, exactly. Do you think that Magical Mystery Tour is Son of Pepper? Yeah, I never thought it that way, but I guess it is when it comes right down to it. And these days, I enjoy playing Magical Mystery Tour more than I do Sergeant Pepper, actually. Hey, Mark. Bob Dylan is playing a concert on his birthday for only the 4th time ever. First time in USA tonight in Ridgefield, Washington. So get down there, folks. Scalp tickets. Do what you got to do. Where in their story or career do you think was the start of the Beatles breaking up? I think when Brian Epstein died. As soon as Brian Epstein died, things got a little rocky, and they did Magical Mystery Tour. Was their only flop, really, and that started with that and just worked its way from there. Did you know that Lou Wagner was not only in Planet of the Apes, but also played J5 in Lost in Space? Yes, I do, Ramoga. Ramoga, I got it right. In particular, an episode called The Haunted Lighthouse from the third season. Yes, that's an episode that I like. I do like that episode. Hello, Mike Wall Jasper. Hello, hello. Yes, I did see Bob Dylan doing Ricky Nelson's garden party. It was really, really interesting. It was fun. It was fun seeing Dylan do that and having an apparently good time uh, doing that. Any vacation plans this summer? Nope. Nope. No vacation plans. It may be a staycation. Stay put. I don't know. I don't even think I'm going to be making it to Chicago for the Fest for Beatles fans. I mean, again, I won't say 100% that I'm not going, but right now it's 75 or 80% I'm not going. Yeah, whatever happened with that? Danny will contact you after the Oasis concert. That's right, Danny. If you weigh in, will you? If you're out there, because whatever happened with that? As a matter of fact, Danny, if you're if you're out there, I'll even let you up if you want. You know, if you want to come up for old time's sake, I'll let you come up talking about Oasis if you happen to be hearing this and you can do it. Do you have one episode of All in the Family that you consider the best? All in the Family is such a great show that I can't narrow it down to one. But the one I always say if people ask me is from the first season. It's called The First and Last Supper, and it's the episode where the first time where the Jeffersons come over to the Bunker's house for dinner, and Archie kind of gets like stuck doing it, and it's not George Jefferson; it's his brother Henry Jefferson. That's probably. I mean, there's so many great episodes. Do you have any pin badges, and what is your favorite? I have a few. I think I have a Give My Regards to Broad Street one that I like a lot. Actually, I think that's it. The last time I was talking to Danny was last year. We are not friends on Facebook. Oh, really? I didn't know that. What's the best worded slogan you've seen on a T-shirt, badge, cap, or poster? Oh, geez. How can I remember out of all the ones I've seen in my life? Wow, that's a tough one. I don't know. How about if I have a long one on my own one where I say, it's not that I think too much, it's that other people don't think enough. How about that one? That's mine. Dylan also played Mr. Tambourine Man live for the first time in 15 years. Did it sound like Mr. Tambourine Man, or did it sound like he was just gargling with Listerine or razor blades? I guess Magical Mystery Tour was more or less a natural follow-up to Sergeant Pepper. They actually recorded the title track before Pepper was released. Well, there you go. There you go. I believe that if Brian had lived, he would have made sure that the Magical Mystery Tour film would have been better. Well, you could be right, Eric, but I know at that particular time they were beyond listening to Brian. I think. But then again, he might have had some influence on them. I kind of like the All in the Family episode with Mike and Archie in the basement getting drunk. Absolutely, that's another good one. Good night, Shabooty. Yeah, I know that one. Absolutely. And the Sammy Davis Jr. episode, that's a great one. Yep, that's a great one. I saw a bumper sticker that said, "The voices in my head tell me you're crazy." I like that. I like that. Great episode choice for All in the Family. My favorites are the one with Sammy Davis Jr., great. First episode with Maud, great. But and the episode where Edith goes through menopause, great. All of them great. The one with Maud, that's the first time we've seen B. Arthur as the character of Maud, and it is great. And it's too bad that somehow that well, they probably couldn't do it, but somehow they couldn't team Maud up regularly. Like maybe she moves in upstairs or something with the bunker, because B. Arthur and Carol O'Connor together are a great pairing. Do you collect autographs, or have you ever sent fan mail to a celebrity? Yeah, I have both. I've gotten most of my autographs in person. I don't really like the thing when you get them through the mail because you're not 100% sure that they're real, but I've done that for a few. And if you go over to my movie channel, Mr. Cinemayo, you will see I have a series where I show my autograph collection. That's a work in progress because I've got future chapters to do. You know what I mean? I've stopped after, I think I did 4 or 5 of them, and then I stopped for now. Okay. Okay, my favorite slogan I've seen during COVID was, "When this is over, I still want you to stay away from me." That's right. Oh, I know something I like. I've got one. Are you ready for this? Uh, it's not that I'm old. Your music really does suck. There you go. Thank you for younger people. Uh, would it be great if the new Bob Dylan Streisand track was "Lay Lady Lay" to have closure? Yeah, that would be nice. It was supposedly written for Barbara. I know Danny, when Danny Ambrosi was on here, he tried to tell me it was written about a dog, and supposedly Bob Dylan said it was written about Barbara Streisand, or at least that was the inspiration. Anyway, yeah, and that's not the song they're doing. I forget which song it is, but it's not "Lay Lady Lay." Dylan is going to be on the Streisand album, but of duets, but it's not going to be that one. Can you name a good thing about AI? Well, I mean, I don't really know the extent of AI. Some people say like the song "Now and Then" was kind of AI, and stuff like that. Use moderately like that, okay. But that's really like that's Peter Jackson's Mal, 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 Mal technology. Was Divine the drag queen on All in the Family? No. No, she was not. Not my favorite was the Christmas episode. That's another good one. The Draft Dodger. Yeah, it's another great one. Very, very, very dramatic. You have a good point about them not listening that much to Brian, but he might have at least encouraged them with helpful suggestions. Maybe he would have hired a professional film editor. Well, yeah, I was saying that, yeah, perhaps he could rein them in a little bit still. Yeah, I said that, they weren't really listening to him. I didn't think anymore. But then again, maybe they had enough respect for him that they might have trusted his advice. Yeah, rest in peace, George Wendt from Cheers. Yeah, and he played Norm. Yeah, yeah. I didn't do a rest in peace video for him over on my channel. That's only because I could have, but you see, I usually only do that on either channel if it's somebody that in some way hits me a certain way. I don't know, it's just what I do. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that either anymore. I would love to see what's in Joe's closet. Oh, what's in that closet? You wouldn't believe all that crap that's in there. A lot of VHS tapes. A lot of VHS tapes that supposedly I would transfer to DVD one day. I'm not talking about like store-bought ones, not professional. I'm talking about home recordings, home movies, and things like that. A lot of stuff, boxes, photographs, collectibles, action figures, Beatles stuff. I got a Paul McCartney press to play jacket. Nobody ever really talks about that. I made a video a long, long time ago when I got a press to play Capitol Records McCartney jacket, and it's in that closet with some other McCartney stuff, and all 4 Beatles. I've sent fan mail recently and received back from Gary Oldman, Bridget Bardot, Sophia Loren, Barbara Eden, and Tim Allen. I think you mean the Tim Allen, the actor, not Tim Allen here on the internet. But yeah. If you could go back in time, which film star would you like to meet? Very easy, I think, for me. If I can only pick one, Boris Karloff. Being a big horror movie fan, I'd love to meet Boris Karloff or Bela Lugosi, either one of them. There you go. About the editing of Magical Mystery Tour, there might have been some really good bits that ended up being overlooked and left out. Maybe some more silliness with Victor Spinetti. Well, some of those sequences are viewable. We've seen some of the outtakes of unused footage. Not very good, in my opinion. Brian might have also have forced the BBC to televise Magical Mystery Tour in color. There you go. That's a good example of something where Brian could have helped out. How old were you when you first saw A Hard Day's Night and Help? Well, I don't remember how old I was when I first saw A Hard Day's Night. I'm going to guess around because I can see. I have a good memory for where I was. It was on TV, And which because we lived in an apartment first up until the time I was 7, and then at 7 we moved into my grandparents' home, my mom and my sister and I. And I remember watching A Hard Day's Night on the television in the bedroom there, a little 13-inch set. And I'm going to say I was about 7 or 8 when that was. As far as Help goes, I still have a memory, a very foggy memory in this case, of seeing Help at the movie theater. My mother took me, but she doesn't have any memory of it. That would be 3 years old, okay, or 4. Anyone know how people put full episodes of TV programs or full albums on YouTube, but don't get copyright strikes? I don't know. Maybe they do have copyright strikes, but you don't know it. I don't want to get into all that. For me, I mean, I don't get into all that. Do you like I Dream of Jeannie? Well, I thought Barbara Eden was hot as hell. I think she still is for somebody who's in the 90s or whatever. But no, seriously, she's a very attractive woman. And as far as the show goes, I think Larry Hagman was very funny. I think he was a perfect foil for Jeannie. But it's funny. One time I bought season 1, I Dream of Jeannie season 1, and I Dream of Jeannie season 1. It seemed to be the same old thing, repetition over and over again, the same old thing, But I like it overall. I've seen over 4 hours of outtakes for Magical Mystery Tour. There you go. I first saw the Beatles movies, 64 and 65, on TV when I was 11. Spring and summer the same year. And Yellow Submarine when you were 9. They used to show Hard Day's Night and Help on the 4:30 movie and probably cut the ribbons. The 4:30 movie, it brings back a lot of happy memories for those of us in that area, in the New York area. It was on at 4:30 to 6, though, as 90-minute time slot with commercials. So movies were really chopped. And sometimes, depending on the movie, they present them in 2 parts. So I used to watch I Dream of Jeannie back in 5th and 6th grade. That was a good sitcom. All right. I'm caught up for the first time in 37 minutes. Let me take some water here while I have a chance. Got to wet my whistle once in a while. Okay. I know you have an eye for the ladies, Joe, you think? And then you say Yoko looks hot as hell in some photos and interviews. Not saying she's not pretty usually. There are some where she looks pretty good, especially in the I think the grapefruit, when she's publicizing grapefruit with John. Thoughts on the original Batman TV series? Well, the thing is, I remember I used to watch it, and my grandfather used to tell us to shut it off. Me and my sister used to watch it, and sometimes we jump around like we were pretending to fight and stuff. And she said, "Hey, turn that off." Just like I said, And I knew even at that age, I knew it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't going to hurt anything. We weren't going to hurt each other. It was just fun. It wasn't. But he didn't like fighting. And anyway, these days when I see Batman the TV series, I don't really get into it. You would think it would be right up my alley. It'd be in the '60s and comics, and color, and Adam West. It's campy. It's supposed to be campy, but I don't love it as much as I should. I had seen Help on TV about 3 times and then saw it in the theater. Few bits I hadn't yet seen. TV stations always cut it a lot. Who's your favorite Joker? I'm gonna go with Jack Nicholson from the Tim Burton movie. I think I was going to say Cesar Romero from the comic TV show, but I'm gonna go with Jack Nicholson, because with Jack Nicholson you got like the serious kind of like nastiness of the Joker, but you got like comedy too. So you got both. Recently saw Batman with Vincent Price. He's called Egghead. Yeah. You could tell you enjoyed playing it, Vincent Price. Did you think when you retired you would have all the time in the world to convert your VHS tapes? Yeah, I thought I'd have all the time in the world to do that, all the time in the world to read every book over here and watch every movie here, listen to every record over there. But today I did a whole bunch of stuff. I washed some dishes, I did some laundry, I did my hour walk in the mall. I did a whole bunch of stuff and made a video. Didn't you don't have a lot of time. That's not a lot of time. That's why you start realizing that as you get older and you start deciding if what you're gonna devote your time to, what you feel is more important or worth it. Okay, first Beatles movie I saw in the theaters, Yellow Submarine, etc., etc. Plainview. Let It Be when I was 6 in the theater. And Yoko wore some fashionable clothes. No, don't keep asking me this. Ramoga, have you watched any episodes from Outer Limits yet? No, but I'll tell you what. I placed an order recently online to Kino Lorber because I love Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, of the boutique uh, movie companies. And I ordered a whole bunch of Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber also puts out the Outer Limits, and I saw that. So I almost bought it blind. There's still time, I hope. Batman season 1 was much better than season 2. Season 3 jumped the shark. Yeah. You don't like the Joker from the Dark Knight? I don't like those new Batman movies, the newer ones, and no, I don't. Heath Ledger and all that. No, I don't like that. Um, there was some theater that regularly showed Let It Be on weekends and at midnight when I was a kid. Maybe a lot of stoners went to see it. I did see Let It Be late at night one time like that. That was around 1981. That was after John died. Okay, very honorable that you replied to all your comments. Don't know too many podcasters that do that. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, but I don't literally reply to every comment. Back when I started, I did. That was 13 years ago. By the way, my anniversary was yesterday. Did anybody applause? Yesterday was my 13-year anniversary on YouTube. Yesterday. But anyway, in the beginning, I was able to do that. And then I got so many comments, you just can't reply to everybody. But I try my damnedest to do so as much as I can. And I always try to give the little heart symbol to let people at least know that I've seen your comment and appreciate it. Let's see. Have you collected, hello, good afternoon, Douglas. First of all, have you collected any Bob Dylan magazines put out by Mojo? No, I have not. I have a hard enough time even caring about the Beatles stuff now. No offense, but I'm just saying that's where I really cut back to magazines. I got tons of Beatles and solo magazines I'm going to be selling. I'm retired and I'm lazy to do anything else. Yeah, I don't let that happen, but it's tough. It's tough. That's why I try to get out there, walk an hour a day, at least, and then do things. Thoughts on the film The Trouble with Angels? I don't think I've seen it, but I do like Ida Lupino, but I don't think I've seen that. Is the Green Hornet with Van Williams and Bruce Lee aimed more for adults than Batman for children? Well, I've never seen an episode of the Green Hornet, to tell you the truth. I think the answer is yes, though. And I agree with this. I think we got to a point where Kino Lorber blows Criterion away. There was a time when Criterion was really it. Criterion was the best, boutique, if you will, specialty label back in the 90s or something, but not anymore to me. I wonder what a school teacher's opinion on chat GPT is. Surely we as people need to learn to grammatically correct ourselves while the computer fixing it will just get dumber. I agree with you, and it's like that with everything, Lila. It's like that with everything. I'm worried about that with everything, man. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Penny Lane. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, James. Yeah, I didn't want to make a video. I figure I only make a video. Really, I made a video when it was my 10 years. I know that 10-year anniversary on YouTube. I'll probably do another one in 15 or something like that. Would you be honored to get a YouTube Play Button award or not bothered? I'd really like to get that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you get that when you hit 100K subscribers, and that's never going to happen. I just not. It's not negative thinking, but I mean, just the averages. I've been here 13 years yesterday, and I've got I'm almost soon going to hit 16. So I got almost 16,000 in 13 years. So do the math. You know. I first saw Let It Be in the fall of '80, shortly before John was taken from us. Some friends and I went to a theater to see it, followed by Yellow Submarine and Help. Boy, that's fun to see that stuff in the movies. So Let It Be, 70 millimeter, 70s. Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have a favorite Bob Dylan album? Well, Jeff, I have a lot of them. I don't want, my two favorite albums are The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan and, of course, Highway 61 Revisited. Which one is my number one? I don't know. Depends on my mood. And after that, my favorite album is Bringing It All Back Home. After that, I go up to the 80s, and I like Infidels from 83. And I forgot about Slow Train Coming, 79, and Tempest in 2012. So I cover a few different periods there. I saw How I Won the War almost a year after John died. Final scene of his character was more moving than it would have been before. I know what you mean. I've still never seen the whole movie, but I've seen all his scenes. Did they finally close that movie theater in the mall? Well, it's been closed. Yeah, it's been closed. But now I hear that they're going to try to rebuild it. They're in the process of rebuilding it, which is a good thing. Was the word retirement mentioned to you, or did you choose to? I'm kind of lost with the question there. When did you start your movie channel? Well, that's a little dodgy, because if you go over to my movie channel, it'll tell you I was there a long time, but not really, because that channel in particular, it was different things. Once upon a time, it was a rant channel. I was going to do just rant videos. Then it was a movie channel. Then it was something else, and back to a movie channel. So I don't really know the exact year. It'll tell you over there how long the channel's been around, but I don't. I've gone months and years without putting any content on there. So, that's the problem with that. Good choices. Good choices. Yeah, thanks. Bob Dylan. I've been following your channel for 11 years. Thank you. Well, I really appreciate it. And I wonder how any other people here that have been around a long time. I wonder. Highway 61 Revisited is tops. Great Bob Dylan album. Absolutely. I agree. Okay. I have a ticket to see Dylan at the end of June. Enjoy. Have you seen the 1988 interview of George and Ringo together? Yes, I have. Michael Aspel. Yes, it is an essential. That is one of the greatest of all solo Beatle interviews. Ringo and George together with Aspel in 1988. You have to see it. Very entertaining. Okay, did your workplace mention to you or to retire? Or did you tell your workplace I'm retiring? I told them I'm retiring. No, I purposely knew about that. I'll put it this way. I wanted to retire from the day I worked there. From the day I started working there, I wanted to get the hell out of there. And I was looking forward to retirement for almost 30 years. Tempest is a good album. I like Duquesne Whistle. Yeah, so do I. Hey, Josh, I'll say it again. I've been there since video number 2. Well, you may have to remind me because I can't remember everything, but thank you. Are you going to do any more streams from the detention center? I don't think so. First of all, I mean, I've only got a little bit of time there. On June 8th, I think it's June 8th is going to be the last time I'm going to be there for this season. And then we take summer off and then go back in September. I'll put it this way. I'll never say never. I'll never say never, but I'm sure I will again at some point. Let's put it that way, but not in a while. I expect to make a video. If things go the way I plan, I expect to make a video there June 1st on a Sunday. Not a live stream, a video. So we'll see if that comes to be. Let's see. First Dylan album I heard was my sister's copy Desire. I was not impressed. Desire is considered a great Dylan album, but I, believe it or not, I'm not familiar with it. I mean, I say you might say, "What do you mean, believe it or not?" We believe it. You never listen to anything. When it comes to Dylan, I own almost all his stuff, and I listen to just about everything. Almost. I miss some stuff. I miss some stuff. I've been following you since 2017. Time goes fast, doesn't it? Ringo does seem to come across a bit erratic, though, whereas George is as calm and calculated as ever. I thank you for last year's information on John Lennon Uncut magazine. That was one that I did buy, the John Lennon Uncut, and the reason I bought it was because of the free CD. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. You just get to a point. When you're 18, 19, 20 years old, 21, you think, I'm just going to buy all this stuff. I'm going to buy all this Beatles magazines. I'm going to buy everything. I got boxes of magazines. Boy, this is going to be great. And then they sit in the closet. Unless you go out of your way to pull them out once every so often and flip through them, that's it. Burt Ward and Bruce Lee were apartment neighbors who bonded over martial arts. Okay, they appeared together as the Boy Wonder and Kato from the Green Hornet in a Batman episode. Very good. Yeah, that is true. That's funny. When my daughter first heard me play Duquesne whistle, she said he sounded like a bit like Louis Armstrong singing. Yes, and yes. Can you hear that Duquesne whistle blowing? It's like a time bomb in my heart. How's that? So, all right, I'm caught up again. So it's time for another sip of water. Have you got a day penned in your diary to try out the meditation album? I don't think I've seen a single video testing if it actually works. I will never listen to that, as far as I know. No, I don't. I have no interest in that. I got it as a gift, but I have it as placeholder. And again, can I say never? Can I say that one day, I don't have any ideas for a video here, and I say, I need a video idea, some content, and I say, yeah, I think I'll play that. Talk about the mind games, right? Mind games meditation mixes or whatever. So maybe one day I'll do that. I've got the Lennon Uncut magazine too. I found it on eBay after seeing Beatly Tone talk about it. I'm glad I ordered it there because I never saw it at the store. Emmylou Harris shines on the Desire album. The meditation album looks beautiful, but the samples I've heard do not interest me. Yeah, I've heard a few of them too. They didn't interest me either. Burt Ward has a single produced by Zappa. I think it's called I Love You, Boy Wonder. Hard to listen to. I could imagine. If you lost a bet and had to wear a T-shirt of a band name you hate, who would it be? Wow. Uh, who's a band name that I hate? Some rap group. I don't know. I don't know. No, but any rap group. Any rap group. Doesn't matter. Or rapper. Single rapper. Could you grace us with a little Archie Bunker? Yeah, I'd like to, but the thing is, I never know. I want to say a good line other than the usual, meathead line. Let me see what I could think there. Uh, I got something to tell. I got something to tell Maud. This country was ruined by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's an Archie Bunker line, but it always feels better just to say, "Oh, geez, there, meathead," huh? It always feels better. Hey there, little girl. Uh, Okay, Norman Maslov has a video about the meditation mixes. He said he liked them. It seemed like it would be all right if you're just laying down to rest or doing a Sudoku puzzle. Well, there you go. It says there, right? I can't do the voice one. It says there, right in the Bible, there, right in the Book of Genesis. Do you love the flea market, or does it get a bit samey if you go too often? Yeah, it gets kind of samey. It's the same old crap there lately. There hasn't been anything really wonderful, but there's a good chance I'm going to be going there tomorrow, actually. So I may be going there taking more footage or nothing. But then again, it's fun for people to watch who don't, don't usually go. They like to watch it. So, yeah, you can imagine Archie reciting it, but I'm not going to do it. Who do you think is the most overrated actor or singer today? Oh man, I have to think about that too. Who's overrated today? You talk about modern people. Um, Kanye West or singer, actor. I can't think of an actor right now. Hello, Cherry Carter. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard any Justin Bieber, What DVD do you have and the cover art is outstanding? Boy, how do you expect me to remember these things off the top of my head? DVD cover art that's outstanding. Holy cow. Uh, Westworld. Because Westworld has the poster on it. It's a great poster. You have a favorite impression you do, and who is it? It's probably Archie Bunker, just because I like the way. I just like it's fun to do with the voice. It feels good to do it. Maybe Rodney Dangerfield, huh? I tell you, it ain't easy being me. I looked in my family tree. I found that I'm a sap. All right, you watch Curse of the Fly. Before you tell me about it, I like Curse of the Fly. What I like about it is they try something completely different, very different from the other Fly movies, and I like that a lot about it. What do you think about it? Yes, Anthony's been to my flea market, and in fact, if you go to my playlists and look under flea market videos, I got a video with him and I at the flea market. What's my favorite Wings album? Oh, it's a toss up between Venus and Mars and Back to the Egg. Thoughts on the Mummy from 1959? The Mummy, the Hammer Mummy, the British Mummy. It's a good horror movie. It's on tonight, I believe, isn't it? It's on tonight on Svengoolie. I don't like it as much as the old Universal ones, honestly, but yeah, I think they're able to do a lot of things in there that they take a lot of things that were done in the old Universal black and white horror movies of say the 40s, and they're able to work a lot of things together in one movie. Okay, all right, I'm not going to disagree with that. Do you watch Jaws on the 4th of July? No, I don't. Usually if things go the way I plan, I'm at a barbecue or something. If that, and I'm out. Hopefully, it's a beautiful day. We're out at a barbecue. Uh, I have not seen Becoming Led Zeppelin, and I was going to see it in the movie theater, and I didn't. I do like Zeppelin, but to be honest with you, I could do without it. Even though I like Zeppelin, I don't not enough to go see the movie or to rent it or anything. Or if I happen to be going around the channels one day and I happen to see it's on some kind of TV spotlight or something, I'll watch it. But I wouldn't go out of my way. I tell you, when I was born, the doctor slapped my mother, huh? When I was born, the doctor said to my mother, I did all I could, but he pulled through anyway. Imagine the news coverage and the payout compensation that Richard Benjamin character would get if Westworld was real and it all went wrong. They imagine that. Okay, we're at the hour point. We're at the 1 hour mark here, folks. Stay on for a little longer. Hey Ted, do I have a favorite TV show 2025? No, I'm afraid not. I mean, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that Sylvester Stallone show, Tulsa King. I wanted to try that out. I've never seen it. And if I like that, then I guess that's a modern show. Maybe this year. I once caught a bit of a cheap movie, Curse of the Mayan Mummy. Uh, yeah, I remember that. I think I know that one. If it's the one I'm thinking it is, sucked. If it's what I think it is. Just one more time, I want to remind everybody who's here, please consider subscribing to my second channel called Mr. Cinemayo, and we do live streams there. I do a live stream, and usually we have my friends on there, Tim Allen or Tom Hunyadi, sometimes one, sometimes both. We're always looking for new movie lovers. Anybody, if you're into movies and you want to be on that show, especially horror movies. It doesn't have to be horror movies because Tim Allen and Tom aren't into horror movies, but I am. Get in touch with me. Let me know when we could see how you're doing, how you do. But yeah, so look forward to that. Right now it's Monday Night Live. It's 8:30 p.m. Eastern, so it may be a little too late for some of you. But there you go. Saturday at 4:30 is a good time for you. I'm glad it works for you. My wife's a bad cook. I don't think meatloaf should glow in the dark. Are you kidding? She told me to take out the garbage. I said, you cooked it, you take it out. Did you see a noticeable difference when you got A Hard Day's Night on Blu-ray? Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to remember, it looked good before that already. But yeah. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. It's a childhood favorite. I love Universal Monsters. I love Abbott and Costello. How do you go wrong? I love that movie. I try to watch it every single Halloween. That's one of my Halloween go-to movies. And I try to see it every Halloween. Okay, let's see. Last of TV good TV shows on Max Apocalyptic Zombie Series. On your cinema channel, do you talk about the going to the cinema experience has changed? I don't think I really talk too much about it. Occasionally I'll mention it. It has changed. It's worse than ever. I'm sorry to say. Mr. Cinemayo has a great classic movie and TV talk. For people who like that. I know not everybody's into that, but I do appreciate it. I'm getting close to 2,000 subs over there. It's been hard to build that channel, but in all fairness, I haven't really pursued it like I said, I have not pursued that channel as strongly as I do this channel. So naturally, if you don't put a lot of content up there, you're not going to get a lot of following. But I just got a notice from YouTube saying that this has happened. That I've got tell me my statistics that things are really looking up over there. So thank you. Okay, I'm surprised it's almost June and nothing new out from the Beatles or solo. You surprised? Nothing since Christmas. Well, I think you mean in terms of like maybe records, right? Music, because there's been like some John Lennon movies and things like that. But I think we're going to start seeing things coming. Oh yeah, I think the last half of this year we're going to see stuff. How about Abbott and Costello meet the killer, Boris Karloff? That's a missed opportunity. Karloff didn't want to be in Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. He didn't want to play the monster. Then later on, he did Abbott and Costello meet the killer, and I got to tell you, it's one of my least favorite Abbott and Costello movies. I purchased some Argento movies. Yeah, El Vampiro 2 movie disc and 3 Cagney gangster movies. Okay, I approve. I don't know what this is all about. I have no feelings on Ernest Hemingway. I don't know what that's about. Were you ever kissing in the back seat of the movies on a Saturday night? I don't know if it was a Saturday night, but yes. Let It Roll is coming. Yes, indeed. We talked a little about that. Yes. Let It Roll, George Harrison compilation album from 2009 is coming on vinyl. For those that want to get it. And of course, Mix64 reminds us that meat is the natural human diet. In about 25 minutes, I'm going to have a pork chop tonight. That's going to be dinner. I had tuna earlier today. Hello, Yorkie girl. How are you? No, I have no thoughts on Ernest Hemingway, though, Dino. None at all. I'm sorry. What do you think of Steve McQueen's subtle acting in the 50s Western series, Wanted Dead or Alive? Never seen that series. I don't think much of Steve McQueen, too much anyway, really, but I haven't seen a lot of it. Billy Joel's song, the newest song that he put out, Turn the Lights Back On, was a great comeback of new material. But finding a physical copy is a challenge. Yeah. Do you have any interest in the videos of final resting places of Hollywood stars? Some graves are so small. No, not interested. Every once in a while, I'll look at it. If something pops up and you see if it's a celebrity I'm interested in, but I don't go out of my way. Okay, James, thank you very much for being here. Happy, when you say Veterans Day, I think you mean Memorial Day, right? Same thing. Well, same thing, Memorial Day. Do you have a movie that is great but has a way of sending you to sleep? Oh, I could name hundreds of movies that do that. That's a movie channel video I'm going to make. Falling asleep while watching movies, even good ones. That happens to me a lot. When I watch a movie, it really puts me at rest, and sometimes I nod off even on the good ones. 100% grass-fed beef hamburger steak with a slice of cheese on it tonight. Nice. Yeah, yes, Robbie. We talked about this earlier. Heart goes out to Billy Joel. I hope they can help him with that and reverse this condition. Are you going to be at the fest in August? Well, right now it looks like no. I thought I was going to go. I really want to see people there, and I want to meet Beatly Tone. Beatly Tone is supposed to be going, and it was good to meet you last August, Marianne. Right? I'd love to go because there's people that are there that I never see in New Jersey. So right now it doesn't look good. It's just financially really too much. Plus, I say, besides the financial aspect of it, the cost, I really just I just can't stand flying. I hate everything about it. Waiting around, checking your luggage, having to get searched, delays, the whole thing. But I'm not going to say no 100% right now. Does your girlfriend do a nice liver and onions? She cooks everything, but the thing is, I'm gonna have to go somewhere special to get liver because you can't find liver in the supermarkets. The regular supermarkets don't carry liver, at least not by me. They used to. I have to go to a special butcher shop or go to a specialty store or someplace where they sell liver because I can't get it. Hello, Mark. Hello. Thank you, Marianne. Great meeting you. I can't get through all the President's Men without nodding off. It's a real Sunday night film. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. My apologies. I said it was the same thing, but thank you for clarifying. Memorial Day is for those no longer with us. That's why you're remembering. Veterans Day is for those still alive. I wonder how many veterans are still alive from the older days. I remember the last time watching something, there was not many. Okay, I think I'm going to be going in about 5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes or so. Keep lifting my glasses back up because they slide a little bit. Remember, I got to look through the bottoms. I'm looking through the reading part when I'm on here. All right. By the way, Cherry, you didn't tell me what you thought of Curse of the Fly. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think? Saw a video on the grave of the kissing sailor from WW. Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember that picture. They were making a big deal out of that picture, right? Not allowed to kiss. They shouldn't have that there. The sailor kissing the woman. Oh boy. I wonder if Mikey Arugula is worth $1 million with his collection. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Oh, Curse was okay. I prefer the earlier ones. Okay. Nice chat today. Great show. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. It's been fun. I love it. It goes so fast. And now I only do once a week, although you never know. Sometimes I surprise you. I could be, hey, surprise live stream. But I usually do for the most part once a week now. And are you serious about this? I will not buy nothing. I will never, ever, ever buy subscribers. Never, never, never. Never, 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 never. Michael Nolan, never. I don't think this is really Michael Nolan, to tell you the truth. I don't think so. Never in a million years. No, but seriously, on the topic of that, whether some people do or not, I never understood that. To me, if I didn't earn them myself, they have no value to me at all. Why would I want to see 100,000 subscribers if I didn't earn them? If they weren't legitimate, you know, why would I want to get one of those YouTube? Why would I want to, get one of those like 100K plaque things if I know in my heart I didn't earn that? They're fake. Mikey needs a museum to display all his collection. You're telling me. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Did you watch the TV show called The Outer Limits? Now, people are trying to get me to watch it, and they say I'm going to like it. I've never seen it before. I know. How in the world did I like not get into that with all the stuff that I like over the years? You know what I mean? Those years. But I may blind buy the series one of these days. Oh, thank you, Elementary Penguin. Yeah, great people. Great people. Have you dropped your intro tape for your videos? Oh, I tried an intro thing for a while. It didn't work out too well. Stranded on a desert island with still living 60-star Angie Dickinson Bob. Oh man. If I could like Angie Dickinson, Barbara Eden, or Julie Newmar, I might have to go with Angie Dickinson. But then again, Julie Newmar, I could spend like an hour just on her legs. So I don't know. Okay. I won a John Lennon look-alike contest in '76 at a Beatles convention. Always wondered if that was on one of the first Beatle Fest. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on a minute. I pretty much know the deal with this, but I'm just talk amongst yourselves for a second here. Ba, 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 ba. Be right with you. Woo! Let's watch my own live stream for a moment. No. Okay, and then I'm going to check Michael Nolan out because I know it's not him. Channel activity. Ba, 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 ba. Having a lot of fun here. Okay. Joined 2 weeks ago with no subscribers, eh? Okay. Adios. Talk later. Okay. What do you think? I was born yesterday? People tell me in my life, they go, you're paranoid. I say, it's acute awareness. You know, my first Beatle Fest was 1974 in New York. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that, Cherry Carter. Let's see. Let's see. I think we're caught up. I'm caught up. And it's about time for me to go anyway. So I thank you all for being here. You're terrific. I love when everybody comes there. Come next. If you're not here, come next time. Say hello. Say hello again. I love seeing everybody, all the regulars. And all the regulars, you know who you are. And have a great Memorial Day weekend. To me, every day is Memorial Day weekend as far as like being off. But no, seriously, have a good time. I love doing this. And I'm sorry it's going to be a week. I hate waiting so long to do this. Remember when I used to do it every day? Oh, you never know. All right. Talk soon, everybody. Cheers.